All right, so the block off plate came in this morning and I threw it on because I was just going to test fit it. But this is, I'll get a part number and put it in the description, but this is basically for like big block Chevy, Chrysler or something. I don't know. It says not for Jeep, but I matched it to the gasket. I looked up the gasket for the Jeep and then cross-referenced the gasket, and apparently they're all the same. So that's the block off plate. I have the new electric fuel pump. We're going to mount over here somewhere, and then we're going to go through and get rid of all of the fuel line and make it rubber from the fuel pump. So we're going to put all new fuel line in here. Hopefully I have enough. And then we'll hook it up to a power source. That way we can key it on and off, and that will be that. Let's see. All right, so let me figure out where we're going to put the pump. Hopefully I can reuse one of these holes here in the fender. I got a couple we can choose from, and then we'll figure out how much fuel line and wiring we're going to need. All right, so right here we had a grounding strap that wasn't connected to anything. It was cut off, so there's no grounding strap. We'll have to figure that out at some point. So I'm going to use that hole. I'm going to get rid of this thing and then drill another hole just over here, and then we'll put some bolts in it, tighten that all down, and then we're going to figure out what's up with this line here, because right now it's just resting on the axle, but that's a hard line that goes from that side of the Jeep to this side. So we'll get all this sorted out, get that connected, and then we'll start plumbing all of the lines up, and then we'll hook up to the battery, make sure everything's working before I start wiring everything in place. All right, so we used the existing hole. We just drilled it out a little bit bigger. We put a bolt through, and then once we had the pump kind of where I wanted it, I went ahead and drilled out the other side with the pump in place. It might be hard to see. And now there's a bolt on that side. Now we just got to hook up the lines, and then we can hook up the power. Now, it's weird. This pump came with this connector, but it didn't come with the other side. So that's fine. I was going to change it anyway. All right, so yep, now we just got to figure out the fuel lines, and we're good to go. So I need to get a screwdriver to get this one off, and I'm going to also replace the return, I think, maybe, I'm not sure, we'll see. All right, so fuel lines are hooked up. We replaced the metal one, which I laid over here. I don't think that was the original one because it looks really nice. But we went ahead and pretty much routed it in the same spot. We do have a little bit of a loop there, but that clears everything so it's not rubbing. I fixed that broken vacuum tee. So other than hooking some power up to it, we are almost there. So yeah, I just have to figure out where a keyed power source can be. I think I have one right here. I'll have to double check it with the test light, but I believe off of that starter relay right there, I believe one of those is keyed. I know not the one here with the big black wire because that goes straight to the battery, but I believe one of the other ones is. So I might be able to get power off of that. If not, I'll have to run it inside to something. But for right now, we'll just hook an alligator clip up to the battery terminal, and we'll ground it there and see if we can get any fuel and see how it runs if it starts. All right, so I have the fuel pump just wired up to the battery. It is working. I pumped it until I could smell fuel, so we're going to just see if it fires and what happens, and then we'll go from there. Well, it started right up on the first shot. It does have a little bit of a backfire. but I haven't changed the cap, rotor, or plug wires or plugs yet. This is just me putting the fuel pump in. And that pipe is popped back on. So, but I don't have any fuel leaks. Yeah, don't look at my pokey wiring for this. Actually, it's starting to run a little smoother now. So, maybe I'll crawl under there real quick before that pipe gets hot and put it back in place. Okay, so I put the pipe back in. Clearly it's running better. So maybe it was just because the fuel pump was bad. It didn't have enough pressure to keep everything working. Still smells rich though, but it is running a lot smoother. Alright, well, we're just going to let it run for a few minutes. Alright, it's been running for a couple of minutes. The mist has gone away, so it's running really good right now. I did tighten up the air fuel mixtures about 1/4 of a turn. Sounds a lot better now. Still haven't done the wiring. I'm just letting it run and warm up. But yeah, it's definitely running a lot better than it was. Don't know what the hell. All right, so we're going to ground the pump here, and we're going to ground the battery there as well. This way we can get a chassis ground, because there is no other chassis ground I found. So we're going to clean this up, and we'll put ends, put an end on here and an end on here, and then we'll run the power inside. All right, so I put an end on. It's got the heat shrink plastic. Did that. I cut that yellow end off of here. We're going to put a new one that has the solder in it. So we're going to make those both long enough. I've cleaned up that with a brush so that it's got a good ground contact. I cleaned up the bolt threads and the seat so that it all makes good contact. I guess this battery's starting to go bad. It's starting to leak a little bit. So let me get this on there, and then we can worry about hooking up the red and figuring out where we're going to run it. Okay, so we used the heat shrink with the solder in it, so that's all done. Then we made a heat shrink end on both of the pump wire and the battery, so now we're grounded to the chassis here. So now we just have to figure out where we're going to run our power. Gonna have to make an end here. I kind of wanted to hook into that, but the only one that has a nut on it is the main power one, and that's not the one we want to hook into. So I think what I'll do is I will find a fuse that is powered on one side only when the key is on, and that will be what we connect into on there. And we'll use one of these little jumpers to do that, like I did for the four-wheel drive light. So now I just have to figure out where I can come through the bulkhead. I kind of would like to come through right there and into that wiring loom, and then it comes out over here, and then we can just connect it. So that's what we're going to look for. All right, so I found this hole right here, and the nice thing about it is it comes out right there. Come on, focus. Right there under the VIN plate, and then I can go straight into the main harness right here. So, and then just carry the wire in the harness all the way over. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so I've got my wire run. It's in a casing through the bulkhead there. It is this wire right here. It comes up through the firewall. I ran it through the casing, ran it through the wire loom. Only problem, I can't reach. I need to get my stool out so I can get that section, but I went ahead and tucked it in all the way over there. I need to finish tucking it in right there. Maybe using a zip tie might help It runs down that main loom to right there, and then I put the loom here to the pump. So it is protected, and it looks like it should be there. So yep, I just have to get my stool. So first, I'm not worried about the stool right now. We're finishing up that wiring. I want to find a power source to get the pump set up, and then we'll worry about tidying it up in a little while. All right, so I got the end on that, and now I just need to figure out which one I can hook up to. I think I can use this fan heater one to run off of. That one there, the 20 amp, that is my four-wheel drive light, which is way too much. I could actually hook that up to the accessory one. But I think we'll just put the jumper right there on that one and call it good. I think that will work. We're just waiting for this to cool down enough where I can touch it, because it was a little hot. Okay, it's cooled down. All right, so let me hook that up and see if we've got everything working. Okay, so we got the little jumper. Hey, shit. Now I just knocked the other one out. Man, those are in there awful loose. They like rattle around. I gotta figure out a way to tighten those up some, because I just knocked this other one out just by putting my hand up there. Okay, so I'm having a bit of a challenge. For some reason the fuses are very loose, and so as soon as I do anything they just fall right back out on those two. But it might be hard to tell, but it has decided to rain. So I had to come back here and throw the doors on the 92, because I haven't had doors on it forever, and they're a little bit out of line. This one at least sort of closes, but it seems like it's way too far back, so not exactly sure how much adjustment I can get out of the hinges, because this one shouldn't go anywhere. This one should be fixed. That one would be the only one, but it seems fairly straight here. Now the other side, that's where we got some way offness. That's about as far as this door will close. Well, it will close a little bit more, but it's tight at the top, wide at the bottom. We're catching right here and up here. And the striker is about, I don't know, about an inch high on the door. So we'll have to adjust that. I'm assuming these are the right doors. But it's sort of buttoned up, so hopefully not too much stuff will get wet. And we'll see if we can figure out what's going on with these fuses. I better go close up the garage too. All right, let me get back on the fuses before it really starts to rain. Okay, so I don't know what the hell's going on, but now those two fuses are so loose they don't want to stick in the holder anymore. It just doesn't take anything and it falls right out. So I'm going to try to put this little pokey thing up in there, see if I can bend those jaws closed a little bit to get a better bite, because this one, as soon as I touch the wire, it just falls right out. Okay, I think I finally got it. So I just pushed from the bottom edges of the two things, and they seem to have grabbed pretty good now. So we're hoping everything is golden. It feels nice and tight. So I'm going to turn the key on and see if the pump comes on. I don't know if you can hear that, but yep, the pump is on. It is running. All right, let's see if it starts. One pump of the pedal, one turn of the key, and it fired right up. I guess I don't need to have the... There it goes. And it sounds like it used to. Purring like a kitten. All right, well, guess I can go in. I can take the dog in and get out of the rain. Make sure I clean up all my tools. I I got that wire all pushed up in there, so it looks pretty good. Yeah, the only downside is to this was these wire loom holders. When I opened these two here, they were so brittle they just shattered in my hand. So this one and the one here is broken. I don't know if I can replace those. I was thinking maybe just throw a zip tie around what's left of the one that's there and hook them up. But I've got the two on the end. So other than that, looks pretty good. All right, well, thanks for watching, and hopefully today is Friday, so hopefully on Sunday the guy comes and buys it and drives it off. We hope.